Hello grade 8s and grade 9s. In today's video, we'll be dealing with only integer questions. Since today we'll be dealing with only questions, I recommend you first go watch the previous video about integers. There I introduced and explained in full on how to approach integers. So I recommend you go check it out first for more understanding before you get to such questions. So let's get started. Here's question 1. Pause and try it. Now, before I reveal the answer, is your answer equal to -6? I mean +6. Well done if your answer is equal to 6. If it's not equal to 6, you can still pause and try it. Now, here's how you get to the answer. You should first remember the two laws I introduced on the previous video about integers. The first one was to say, if the signs are different, take the sign of a bigger number and subtract the small number from the bigger number. And the second one was, if the signs are the same, keep the common sign and add the numbers. Those two laws are to remember because they will help us, they will assist us in answering this question. So in our case, our numbers or our signs are both different. So we take the sign of a bigger number, 14, then 14 minus 8. 14 minus 8 is 6. And here's our final answer. Now, question 2 consists of 3 numbers, different from question 1. Let's see if you'll be able to get it correct. You can pause and try it. Here's the answer you should get. And now, let me show you the steps to get to the answer. The first question was easier because we're dealing with 2 numbers. Now we are dealing with 3 numbers. So how do we approach this one? What you can do here is to focus on the first two numbers before you can bring in the third number. So we'll focus on 25 and 40. So 25 minus 40. So between 25 and 40, we should take the sign of the bigger number. And in this case, it's 40. 40 carries a negative. Then now we say 40 minus 25. And we get 15. Then now we bring in the -8 like that. So the signs are the same. So we keep the common sign and we say 15 plus 8. And the answer is -23. And this is the answer. Now let's take question 3. It consists of 2 numbers, but it has something that makes it different from question 1, and that is brackets. Let's see if we'll be able to get it correct. That question. 20 plus in brackets -6. You can pause and try it. Here's the answer you should get if you do this correctly. It should be 14. Here are the steps to how you get to the final answer. So in this case, a bracket is introduced. So how do you do with that bracket? You can approach it like this. So we say 20 plus minus 6. And yes, I know there are 2 signs here. And this brings me to remind you what I've introduced on the previous video about integers, the multiplication of signs. So from the previous video, we know that multiplying a positive and a negative, we should get a negative. So this is the part where you multiply the signs. So positive times a negative, the answer is a negative. So the answer here, or the following step here, should be 20 minus 6. And from here, it should be easier for us. So from the 2 numbers, which one is the bigger number? It's 20, right? And 20 carries a positive number. It carries a positive sign. So it's positive. So from 20, we subtract 6. So meaning it's 20 minus 6. So answer is 14. And this is the final answer. Same as this one. Now, let's go to question 4. Question 4 is a combination of question 2 and question 3. It consists of 3 numbers and also a bracket. Let's see if we'll be able to get it correct. Question 4, negative 16 plus, in brackets, negative 14 minus 9. You can pause and try it. The answer you should get here, it's negative 39. So, yeah, the steps to get to the answer. So you realize that here there are 3 numbers that you deal with. And from a question, I think it's question 2. Yes, it's question 2. The way we dealt with question 2 is that we grouped the first 2, then later on we included the third number. So it's the same way, or it's the same approach we'll be using even to this question. So it's negative 16 plus minus 14 minus 9. So we'll be dealing with what? The first 2. This first 2 here. The first 2 reminds us of the previous question, which was question 3. So we know that here, we have to write this. We know that here we have to take out the bracket this way. And we see that we have a plus and a minus in the same place. We have a plus and a minus in the same place. So what we do here, we say plus or positive times a negative, we know we'll get a negative. So our answer here is negative 16. This part, our answer is a negative 14 minus 9. We leave everything as it is. So we're still dealing with the first 2. So the first 2 has the same signs. This first 2 here. So when the signs are the same, what we do? We keep the sign, the common sign, which is negative. Then we add the 2 numbers, in which in this case it's 16 plus 14. And 16 plus 14, it gives us a 30. Then still drop down to negative 9. So it's still the same here. So negative 30, negative 9, they're both having the same sign. So we keep the common sign, which is a negative. Then 30 plus 9, it gives us a 39. And this is our final answer. So next question is question 5. It is not so different from question 4. It consists of 3 numbers and a bracket. The only difference now is it has 2 brackets and a multiplication sign. So let's see if you'll get it correct. Question 5. 4 times the brackets 20 plus negative 5. The brackets. You can pause and try it. The final answer you should get 60. A positive 60. Now let's do it together step by step. So we know that if we have 3 terms, we have to group the first 2 or group 2. Deal with 2 first, then later deal with the third one. So in this case, they've already grouped for us the 2 we should start with, and that is the one in the bigger brackets here. So our approach now should be 4 times, we leave this as it is, then say 20 plus minus 5. Then notice that here we have a plus and a minus in the same place. And our next step should be 4 times, this comes as it is, then 20 still comes as it is, then positive times a negative, we should get a negative, and the 5 still comes down as it is. This 5 comes down as it is. Then our next step should be 4 times, then 20 minus 5, this is 15. The bigger brackets are not necessary, you can use the normal brackets. Or even take them out or not use brackets at all. It's not necessary at this point. A is equal to 4 times 15. This should give us a 60. And this is our final answer, the same as this one. Here the brackets, you can even take them out. They're not that necessary. You can leave them or you can put them in. They're not necessary. Now let's go to question 6 and 7. They'll be a little challenging because the fourth number will be added now. So let's see if you'll be able to get it correct this time. So there's question 6 and 7. You can pause and try them. So now let's see how question 6 can be answered. I'll erase question 7 for now to create space. So previously we'd have 3 terms and we'd have to deal with the first 2 or group 2 first, deal with the 2, then add the third one first. Add the third one later, I mean to say. So in this case, we're having 4 terms, we're having 4 numbers. So how do we deal with this? So how you deal with it is that you group the first 2, or you pair them into 2 2s. That's what I meant to say. Meaning, this one will be with that, and this with that, just like that. So now we have 4 times 20. That's the first group. So 4 times 20, we get 80. Then this positive sign, this one here, goes down as it is. Then now we are on 4 times negative 5. So 4 times negative 5, it's a negative 20. This is a negative 20. 4 times negative 5 is a negative 20. So we get a negative 20. And now we're at the case that we have 2 signs in the same place. So what do we do here? We already know. A positive times a negative always dominates. So a negative would win in this case. So it's 80 and 20. Then 80 minus 20, it's 60. And that is the final answer. That's the answer to this question. And here is question 7. So our approach is still the same with question 6. Still the same. I'll rewrite this as it is. 14 negative 9. So I group, or I pair 2 2. Pair the first 2 and pair the last 2. And there it is. So from here, we know that 30, or the first pair, we know we deal with it like this. We take down this, and 14 plus minus 9. And for other, let's just do this. Yes. So for our first bracket, we have a 30 minus 15. So this is the part where we should multiply the 2 signs and see what we get. So a negative times a negative, what do we get? We get a positive. Then I'll still bring down the positive. 14. So now we're again at the case where we should multiply the 2 signs. So a positive times a negative, what do we get? We get a negative. So it's a negative 9. And I'll still keep the bracket. So now 30 plus 15, we get 45. Plus 14 plus 14 minus 9. 14 minus 9, it's a 5. It's a 5. It's a 5. Now to not confuse you, let me change this to red. Like this. And now 45 plus 5 is equal to 50. And this is our final answer. Let's say this question is out of 5. Let's say question 6 is out of 5. Question 5 is out of 5 as well. And question 4 is out of 4. Question 3 is out of 4. Question 2 is out of 4. Then question 1, let's say it's out of 2. And that sums up to say it's 25 all in all, if I'm not mistaken. So out of 25, how many did you get? Out of 25, how many marks did you get? So it's question 1 for 3 marks, question 2 for 4 marks, 3 for 4, yes, then 5, 6, 7 for 5. That is all about today's video. Please comment how many marks did you get out of 25. That is all about today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more math videos. Till next time.